is aerodynamic.
Mirage! Don't worry, you boys got this. Stranger danger! Stranger danger!
So we heard from your producer, Lorenzo, that every time Pete Davidson went into the booth to voice Mirage, he was trying to top the line he said last time. Were there any of those lines that you can't believe he threw out or that you can't believe actually got into the film?
Yeah, definitely, man. It's my favorite line in the movie. It was one joke where Noah goes, hey, we're just work friends. He's trying to explain his relationship with his brother, and Mirage responds, work friends, you were inside me.
Nah. Relax.
I'm Mirage, remember?
Yeah, I mean, Pete, you know, that line, he was like, you were inside me? And I was like, yo, that was all, that line, I had no idea. I laughed out loud when I was doing ADR for that scene. You know, so Pete got cast after we shot the film. Apart from Peter and Ron Perlman, we didn't know who any of the characters were gonna be. So it was really fun going to ADR and actually like hearing what Pete did with the character.
You looking good, man. There you go, now we're friends.
And the original line was, work friends, wow, after all we've been through. And they had just met that night, so it was like a commentary on like, they haven't been through a lot. But it just wasn't working. Like, it was cute, but it wasn't funny. And I was throwing out stuff, and Pete was throwing out stuff. And we were swimming around the line, and then he just said it with the perfect performance. And it was like, we just kept the mic rolling, and he just killed it, yeah.
Nobody had any idea that Transformers would go that far.
I thought we were boys.
What was the process to try to find this voice?
A cyborg from a distant galaxy. That's what I traveled. I went way out there, and I just going into the studio a lot, and you just modulating it, getting the minutia of it down, the levels and all of that, and then they go back and they play it with the other characters, see how that feels relative to everything else going on in the movies with the sound effect. You come back in, you do it again. It's a lot of repetition, but I love all that fine tuning of things and getting it, just having that time and having it just be about your voice, so you can just focus on nothing else but your voice. You don't have to bother with any of all the other things that actors have to be inundated by, costumes and hair and set and all that stuff. It's just your voice. I just had to go low, go evil. It was always going to be a low voice. If you need me to go get a low voice, I'm your guy, because I can get down there, man.
You can't fight the inevitable.
What's one tip that you can offer to somebody who is voicing a giant transforming robot?
That's good. Thank you. That's a good question. I would say watch anything Peter Cullen does. I mean, that man is an OG. And he has such a touching story too of like sharing the moment with his brother and getting his brother bestowing advice upon him and saying, if you're gonna be a leader, you gotta be strong enough to be gentle. And the moment I heard that stuck with me.
100%.
Because that is Optimus Prime.
Let them come.
So, I mean, I took note from watching the Transformers movies myself, and to play Arcee, I had to step into this like fearless, fierce, driven character, which I have within me, but it was so nice to bring that to the surface in order to tap into her. Over here, kitty kitty. So I think lower register, your ultimate confidence, dressing the part too, even though you're in the booth and no one's gonna see you, doing whatever it takes to make you feel your strength and your best to step into the character.
Yes.
Yes, indeed, amen.
I'm just with you.
And how do you go about directing an actor to play a giant transforming robot? Is there a tip that you can give them to get into that role?
Yeah, not to play the actual robot. Like, I mean, when I mean that, it's like, you don't have to try to make your voice too deep. You don't have to be bigger than you. Like, I think what's cool about Transformers is the fact that you can hear the sort of like human-esque nature of an actual actor behind it. It's like, well, let us tweak it, maybe give it a little reverb here and there. We call it processing, like we process it a bit, you know what I mean? Filter it up.
Why are you hunting for the king?
I never try to push it to the point where you can't hear Ron Perlman or Peter Cullen. I think Peter Cullen's probably the only one who transforms into Optimus Prime when he talks, because when he talks in his regular voice, he is not that guy.
I invite you to the movies. We have one last hope.
But ultimately, I try to refrain from people to try to dive too deep into that. I want them to be themselves. And so it's probably the biggest tip at the start is like, find that version of grit in your voice or gravel or anything like that, but that's you and not someone else completely, because I want them to hear Peter Dinklage or I want them to hear Pete Davidson when they come to the movies.
He eats planets. So like way bigger than a planet.
I don't want to lose anything about Michelle Yeoh's voice. You know what I mean? It's like, I want her to be heard. So like having her like perform in this sort of, again, regal and elegant way and the way she carries herself. And like, if we started to process that too much, we'll lose all of that texture.
Optimus, we must trust each other to protect the home we all share.
What did you wear into the booth? Did you just
Lance
like
Armstrong
have a little
outfit.
bit of pop of
Yeah,
pink?
that's what she wore. Lance Armstrong outfit. She looked like she was doing the Tour de France.
Glasses and all.
Tour de France.
I was aerodynamic.
What are we talking about?
Welcome. Hey, bring out some chairs. Come on, girl. Beautiful.
Yeah, what's up?
Come on, we need
She want me to say.
She wild.
Yeah, we just want to say hi.
June 9th. These are the stars.
So good. Like a vanilla cupcake. Thank you.
Come on. Y'all better be. Y'all
Go. Get your hug.
Come on.
Like, I take another one. That was great. Way to crash it.
This can't be real. This can't be real. Oh, okay, it's real.
Did you feel at all inclined to offer your own transforming sound effects?
Oh, you do that all the time. Pew, 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 pew. Yeah. We're just living out our fantasies as children, essentially.
Not bad, right? I gave that one for free. Normally I get paid by Paramount for that. There goes another one. Sorry, that one's free too. But I really think I didn't do any sound effects so much of like, what is it? Like strength sounds and like struggling sounds and, oh yeah, I fell down a hill.
Oh.
I forgot that was me.
Oh, yeah.
I got a bruise. Yeah. Yeah. So it's a lot of like.
Yes.
Optimus is long. No, there's a lot of like guttural noises you don't realize you're gonna make in the booth, but it helps so much once you see the scene. Yeah. You understand that heavy breathing was needed for this Autobot, you know? So it eventually you see the pieces come together and it makes sense.
Side note, vocabulary award for guttural. Come on.
Guttural. Thank you.
It's not like,
It's in my vernacular.
come on.
However you say it.
And if you don't know, now you know.
The Transformers franchise, at its core, it's always about that special bond between a kid and his car, right? So what was your first car that you drove, and would you want to transform into that vehicle?
Come on.
She was a trustworthy. Her name was Rhonda. She was the Honda Civic. 2004 Honda Civic, tan interior, suede. So many stains, every stain possible.
Yes, mine was a 1995 Toyota Camry.
Ooh.
Yep, I wasn't driving in 95, but the car came out in 95 and I had it in 2005. And that's a hell no, I would not want to transform into that. The alternator went out a couple times. Spark plugs had to be changed every 3 months. And I'm still, so I'm happy that I'm here now.
I wouldn't mind transforming into her. She was reliable.
Come on,
she was
Rhonda
old
the
faithful.
Honda.
Rhonda the Honda. I would. I scratched her up on the side too, but she's like got stretch marks. You know, she earned her stripes.
Stretch marks. Come on.
Girl and girl.
Yes, come on.
I'm trying to remember the first time I drove. I think the first time I drove was in Michigan in my friend Devin's car. I don't really know what her car was, but I definitely wouldn't transform into it. But it was, I think the first time I drove in a car in Lapeer, Michigan, in my friend Devin Compton's car.
Without a license, I should add.
Without a license. But I have a license now, so, which I got in my mom's car. So there you go.
Would you transform into that?
I would not transform into my mom's car. Oh yeah, you know what? It's a nice Camry.
Okay.
It's nice.
I also don't have a license. But when I was trying to learn, I had my permit that's expired now since 2020. When I had my permit, bro. I was trying to learn how to drive in, I don't even know what kind of car that was, a Hyundai? But no, I wouldn't transform it. I wouldn't transform into the Hyundai.
I never had a car of my own, but my mom let me and my brother drive her Silver Rabbit, the 1985 Silver Rabbit, which had I remember it had a blue door because about a week after I got my driver's license, I went to go see Stand By Me at the local cinema, and I got into a car accident. Never ended up seeing Stand By Me because I had to drive home. It wasn't a bad car accident, but it was enough to dent the side of this poor rabbit. And we had to change the silver door into a blue door because I guess that was the only available door at the mechanics. And we had that blue door for the next probably 10 years. It wasn't about the car back then. It was about the stereo because they all came with pretty junky stereos. And the car stereos, you had to pull the junky one out. That was the big thing. It wasn't necessarily the car you were driving, it was the sound system inside your car.
Oh my God, yes. I had the very first car I owned is crazy. It was a Geo Prism. It was 87, 88, I think. And not the year of the car, not the year I got it. It was like 2000 and I don't even know, 3 or 4 maybe I had the car. When I tell you that thing was beat up, man, it had a hole in the ground. You could like damn near see the cement when you're driving over the pavement. There was no back window, and I drove it like that. So it was just duct tape through the back. It would be embarrassing if that thing turned into any sort of robot. But I'm very curious though what it would actually look like. I think it would be actually a cool, funny character. But geez, yeah, it was an 87, I think, Geo Prism.
The first car I drove was a 1947 Willys Jeep. Which had no floorboards and had no air conditioning or heat. So growing up in New Hampshire, as the snow came up from underneath the car, so I don't think I would want to replicate that experience.
Tell me one thing that's more than meets the eye about one of your castmates.
Oh, shoot. More than meets the eye. I'm going to pick Tobe. And I'm going to say that Tobe is pretty much a lover boy romantic. Like, he's a rapper, he's this cool guy, but he is not going anywhere. I mean, you could see it in like social media that he's not going anywhere without his wife and his family. But even we were at Porsche doing like a car simulator thing, and Fat wanted to be a part of it, but she wasn't there, and he would not let us start without her. He was like, "No, Fat's can't wait. We gotta wait for my wife. Like, and then when I found, come on, Fat did not let us start this game without this woman.
That's what's up.
And I love it.
Goosh, goosh, goosh.